I just got to know, we have to clarify that Santos eventually reached a plea deal after pleading guilty to wire fraud and aggravated identity.
Is that a legal note? What a nice legal
Kind
note.
of. All right. Kind of. It's
Whatever.
It's a
I
clarification.
just bribery accusations. I have a legal note. You want to take this one, Joy, or are you
Matt
good?
Gaetz
has long denied all allegations and has not been charged with any crime.
That's true.
Also, another legal note, Pete Hegseth's lawyer said he paid the woman in 2023 to head off the threat of a baseless lawsuit.
Oh.
He has denied any wrongdoing.
That's interesting. Pay off the witness.
Both Trump and Pam Bondi have denied allegations of a quid pro quo that his past donation played any role in her office's decision to not take legal action against Trump University when she was, of course, the Attorney General of Florida.
Oh.
This show is going to be just legal notes and things we're selling.
That's what I said we're going to call it. The legal note.
Isn't it hilarious that an entire show made up of women, now that they aren't able to sit around and spew lies and spew inconsistencies, to sit around and spew their narrative, that now their show is in danger. Now they're not able to make the content they used to always make because they're not able to sit around and just spew random lies. Isn't that interesting? What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video here on the channel. We're just gonna go ahead and just jump right into it today. So if you could, like the video, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and hey, how's it going? My name's Rat Boy. Let's get into it.
Ladies, this is what you should ask yourself before you ask your man, that man, because he ain't yours yet. Before you ask that man for anything, you should ask yourself, what am I bringing to him to ease or make his life better? Mm-hmm. That's what value is. If you can't answer that question, you don't deserve anything yet. What has that man said in the way that you bring him value? If it's only, let me take you to dinner, let me take you to eat, let me do, what? Why does he want to keep serving you if there's no service back? It is the law of reciprocity. What can you do to support that man? And that is the problem with these modern day women. It is all I, me, take. You got to be careful who you give to, because takers don't know when to stop. Okay. I am tired. These people, they are ruining this generation. It's literally ruining the generation. Mm-hmm. And then little girls are glamorizing and fetishizing.
You know, I've said this a few times, how it's really not my generation that is suffering from this. I mean, there's a lot of guys out there that are lonely and they're dealing with certain things, and I can definitely understand that. But I feel bad for these generations coming up. They're going to have a really tough time trying to figure out what needs to be done in terms of trying to find someone that, you know, they could potentially be in a relationship with. Trying to find someone, you know, not meeting them on a dating app. There's a lot of challenges that come with that as well. And just the fact that dating apps and social media have completely poisoned the social interactions that men and women used to have, because everything is now, pretty much everything is done online. It's very hard to escape that now. And as I've said in previous videos, I don't think this is going to correct itself until the dating online, until the social networks, until all that is taken out of the equation. I think that has completely poisoned the pool when it comes to trying to find someone of, not even of quality, just trying to find a decent human being to be in a relationship with. It is completely poisoned the pool.
A lot of women don't accept the reality that men take respect over love. Absolutely. Any day. Mm-hmm. Any day, every day of the week and twice on Sunday. Respect me before you love me. And then women position themselves where it's like, well, I'll take safety over love.
Damn. Safety, huh?
So as long as I feel safe with you, I don't have to be in love with you. Because I'll marry the man that I respect before I marry the man that I'm in love with.
You know what? Ooh, when you say that out loud,
She ain't lie.
That makes some sense.
Yeah, no, she didn't lie.
I have no rebuttals.
Because even the safety, immediately when you said safety, I'm like, no. In my head, I'm like, no, they want to marry somebody that's financially keeping them safe.
Mm-hmm. And it's so many different, it's so many different layers of safety.
But mine,
emotionally,
keeping them safe.
So I don't have to be in love with my husband, because I'm not going to always.
You're not going to always.
No.
Yeah.
But if I'm safe, I'm going. Oh, I'm right here.
That's That's some information that a lot of men do not want to hear. That they do not want to understand. That is that when a woman says the word safe, she doesn't mean safe from danger or anything like that. She means safe from being poor, safe from being with a dusty. You know, you gotta make those 6 figures so she can be as safe as possible, my guy. That is what they're talking about with safety. Now the part that she said about men and about men will choose respect over love, there is a little bit of truth behind that, but unfortunately I don't think that's the way it is anymore. Because of just the way the world is now, and especially there's a lot of pressure put on men now to be as financially secure as possible. Okay, they are looking at some of the women out here that they want to date, and they realize that they need to up their financial status to date these women. And then you have, which we'll see that clip in a little bit, but also whenever we talk about online dating, whenever we talk about social media, a large majority of these women that wouldn't even be looked at twice on the street are getting flooded with validation. They're getting flooded in their DMs, and they are constantly being told that they're 10 out of 10s, that they're the most beautiful woman in the world, when in reality, these women wouldn't get a second glance on the street. What is this doing to the dating landscape? Because I think this might be causing more damage than anything, honestly, is that you have a large majority of the population of women right now that think that they are worthy of the top 1% of men that are out there, and so they're going after these men, not understanding that these men are just going to be blowing their back out. They're going to have them in for a good night. They're going to spend those nighttime visits with these women, and then they're going to discard them and send them back into the streets. All the while telling these women that they're going to be in relationships with them, they're going to marry them, and they will just, they're going to lie. These men are going to lie to fill in their bored, those evenings where they're bored, and then they're not able to get, any of these other women. They're going to call these women that are in their DMs, these femcels, and they're going to take care of those women. It's just the way it is. Now, we can talk about the ramifications that has on dating, but I think we already know what that's doing to dating. By the time these women are in their 30s and they're looking around and they realize that they need to not do that anymore, it's already too late. The trauma is already set in. They're damaged goods at this point, and then we see them online making videos like this.
I don't know what woman needs to hear this, but hear me clear. If you got a man that loves you, if you got a man that's trying, that's doing everything in his power to get better and rise to the occasion of loving you, stay there. Because it's easy for you to be like, I can have anybody I want, because you can. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people want me, and that's probably true because you're beautiful. But you will quickly find out that a lot of the motherfuckers that want you, you don't even want. And a lot of men that want you will never love you, will never try as hard as the man that you are with right now, will never rise to the occasion of loving you. Sometimes that's the illusion. You'll be like, oh, you don't know how many men ask for my number. You don't know how many men I can have anybody I want. You don't be wanting people. That's very rare. So if you're in a relationship with a man who doing his very fucking best to learn you, to love you, to get better on behalf of loving you, stick the fuck around, because I'm trying to tell you that a lot of people want you, but a lot of people don't have the capacity to keep you, love you, or take care of you. Do not let the illusion of all these men wanting your number and liking your pictures and getting in your head even fuck you out of a good person that actually care about you.
This literally happens all the time, and a lot of you guys will know what I'm talking about when this is just what I say. They get the validation in the DMs, they get the validation online, and they see this from all these men, and then they think that they can keep these men, and that's not how any of this works. I've seen videos of women saying that they have divorced their husbands of 20 years to go after these men that have been in their DMs, telling them that they're gonna fly them out and Greece vacations and weekends in Paris and all this other stuff, all the while not knowing that they just wanted to plow, and now they're divorced, their kids hate them, and they're living in a 1-bedroom apartment in Section 8. So this is something that happens pretty regularly through social media. These guys are kind of scamming these women out of their lives, which is very sad. But also, I kind of think if these women were devoted to their husbands, and if these women actually cared about their husbands, they wouldn't even be entertaining any men online. If you're texting a man online and you're married, you shouldn't be doing that. If you kind of feel like you have to hide these conversations from your husband or from your boyfriend of what you're saying to these other men, then that kind of tells you everything you need to know right there. But videos like this, videos that tell women to cherish their husbands, to cherish their boyfriends, to not cheat on them, to not look for anything better, these videos get very little views. They get very little interactions, very little likes. Right now, this video is sitting at 25 likes, 25 hearts, 0 comments, 3 shares. Okay. All the while a video that will basically bashing men, saying that you deserve the world, saying that you can, fuck every man out there, and who cares what your husband thinks? He's not your husband anymore anyways. You're about to divorce him. Those videos get millions of views, thousands of shares, 500,000 likes. It is a very nasty world out there when it comes to being in a relationship. I think you have to be self-aware. You need to be self-aware of what you're doing online. You need to be self-aware of who you're interacting with. And I know I'm saying this to women, but they're not going to listen. Women are probably the least self-aware people you will ever meet, ever. Try talking to a self-absorbed woman. She will not have any idea what's going on around her. She is completely fixated on her and her alone and what she wants and what she needs. Even when these women become moms, even when there are children involved, they will still always think about themselves and think about their well-being and what they deserve and what they want, and they will ruin families to get that. And as men, we have to look at the patterns. We have to look at what we see in front of us. That's why I always say, do not date single moms. Do not date women who have a lot of baggage. If you know that this woman has been getting, her back blown out by Tyrone with the neck tattoos, then just leave her be. Okay, you don't want to invite that sort of chaos into your life, because women that do things like that are known to make bad decisions, and they are known to bring those bad decisions into the lives of the men that they choose to spend their time with. And you would think with access to the internet, with access to all of these tools, and for these women, that they could reach out to other women and get advice from some of these women that have been married for 20 something years and ask them how they did it and some good tips. But no, they would rather listen to the 304s online. They would rather listen to all these other women that have been, doing these challenges where they try to eat as many sausages in an evening. This one woman, she's doing 1,000 sausages in a day. It's going to be this new online trend she's doing, and they broadcast it online to get likes. They would rather do that than to actually work on their relationship and fix the damage they brought into their family.
It don't matter how old a man gets, he's always gonna have options. Younger, finer, fitter, willing, but they wasted all their time telling all these good men, oh no, you're not my type, and I need a man that's gonna do all this stuff for me. You too broke for me. Y'all brag about the fact that y'all don't cook. You brag about the fact that you're not cleaning for nobody. You brag about the fact that you're selfish. You brag about all these things that are contrary to what a man wants. What happens is they start approaching that wall. Once they are approaching that wall, or once they hit it, they already got kids. They're not in their prime anymore. And then they get frustrated. They try to convert other women and try to convince other women that they also don't need men, because now they no longer qualify. Now what are you left with? You're broken, used, washed up, your self-worth, your dignity, all of that done gone. Now what you gonna do? You love talking about yourself, and you can do bad out by yourself, and it's all about me, and because I'm the prize. Where are your results then? If you the prize, who the prize winner? If you the prize, where is the collector of the prize?
Women are not the prize. That's the joke. That's the joke. If women were the prize, then men would be fighting each other to get attention from these women, and they're not. Men are actually ignoring these women in record-breaking numbers. We are breaking records with this. This has been unseen, okay? It has never been this way. You have record-breaking hoflation happening to the point to where men are looking around and they're like, I would rather spend my money on a gaming PC and stay home and never interact with anyone ever again than go out and interact with these women out here. These women are not prizes to win, okay? A prize is a good thing. When you win a prize, that's a good feeling that happens. These women do not give men that feeling. When a lot of these men are interacting with these women, there is a gut-wrenching feeling of despair and regret. And you usually don't get that feeling when it comes to prizes. It's usually the opposite of that feeling whenever you open a prize, like a present, Christmas morning, you're opening something you've always wanted. That's a good, butterflies in the stomach, a very good feeling, a happy feeling. It's not a very depressive feeling where you feel like you need to go buy a rope. That's not the feeling these men want to experience. That's why they're staying away from women like this. And because it's so hard to try to find a woman that isn't like every other woman, because you got to vet these women now. You have to vet these women now. And because it's so hard to do that, because it's just so hard to find a woman that is actually worth spending your time with and investing in at all, you are left with absolutely nothing. And because it is so hard to find a woman that is actually worth investing your time in, these men are completely checking out. Just look around. And I'm not talking about look around on TikTok because, well, you know what women do on TikTok. They kind of just, there's a lot of lying that happens. There's a lot of not being completely honest about what's going on. This is another video, another TikTok. They got 33 likes, 2 comments. Let's check it out.
What is the difference between a woman that wants to be a wife versus a woman that just wants a husband?
Oh, you know what? I think most of us are bred to just want a husband, whereas to be groomed and trained to be a wife means to understand how to respect masculine energy, how to truly be inside of your feminine, which means trusting the leadership of your partner, because feminine chooses certainty. Feminine doesn't choose flow, because feminine is flow, right? Feminine energy. When we choose to understand that it is our biggest opportunity to seek out the needs of a man without him expressing them, I think a beautiful opportunity for us to empower that man and ride through the storms. I feel like we live in a weak generation where things get hard and people immediately are like, oh, I quit. This is too hard. And that's like, it's never going to hinder you the result you want. If you keep quitting, it's to be groomed as a wife means it's compassion. It's longevity. That's where marriage starts.
That is absolutely true. And you can just look around. I've experienced it in my relationships where one, you hit a little rough patch and then all of a sudden you're throwing the entire relationship in the trash. It happens. It happens more often than not. That's why divorces are skyrocketing. That's why men are not worrying about getting married or even being in a relationship, because there's really no point, I would like to say that it's changing, but I don't really see anything changing until we get rid of the dating apps and, the stranglehold that social media has on a large majority of these women. I kind of feel like it's not going to be changing anytime soon. If I could give any advice to the men out there, if you're looking to date, if you are looking to get out there and find you a woman, I would say just don't do it online. Find someone out in the real world. Try to, start up a conversation with a woman that you find relatively attractive. For men, you just kind of find a girl that's cute enough and see if she'll talk to you and take it from there. But also just look for the warning signs, look for the addictions. And I'm not talking about substances, I'm talking about social media addictions. These women, they're usually not addicted to substances and stuff. It's usually social media. It's usually validation. You got to check their TikToks, you got to check their Facebook, their Instagram, figure out who they're interacting with. Do your research now, because it's very easy to get scammed. They're always looking for that step up. And a lot of times these women will be in a relationship all the while still having Tinder on their phone downloaded, getting messages off of Tinder.
That's a great question. I even want to hear this answer.
I think that a lot of people are in relationships because they can't afford a rent on their own. A lot of people are in relationships because they don't want to fall asleep by themselves at night. A lot of people are in relationships because their mom or dad tell them that they're getting too old. A lot of people are in relationships for the wrong reason. And the truth is, when you get to a space where you love you enough to get rid of the noise that comes from outside of you, the people, the places, the things, the biases, the societal norms, when you get outside of all of that, now you can powerfully choose. I'm choosing you because I want you, not because I need you. Although I'm not going to act like I don't need you. I'm going to move like I genuinely want you in my life. And until you get to that point, I don't think you should be in a relationship.
I agree.
She said the word people, but this actually has nothing to do with men. This is strictly a woman thing. Men are not going to be moving in with a woman to find a place to live. I mean, there are going to be some men that do that, I guess. Very small majority of men. But for the most part, this is something that women do. You know, I covered the woman who was going on a Tinder date every night just to find a place to crash. So she would go out with these random men, and then these men would take them back to their place and blow their back out and give them a place to sleep, and then she'd rinse and repeat, you know, every night. So this is basically a woman. This is basically what women do. They get in these relationships with these men, these bankroll type dudes, make sure that the money is there, make sure that they have a good place to live, place to lay their head. Maybe they have kids that he's taking care of. And then while he's being the money simp, she is on a Hinge trying to find a 6'5" dude to rearrange her inside while he's working his overtime, and hoping that she won't get caught, hoping that this guy won't wise up to check her messages or anything. Hopefully, you know, because if he checks her messages, she can always call him insecure. Hopefully he won't figure it out so that she can keep the roof over her head while she's meeting up with different dudes every night. So that's the common tactic now, and it's mainly women. So I'm not sure why she said people. That's mainly a woman thing. And there's plenty of TikToks out there to describe this happening and how women do this. So I'm really not going to go into too much detail about that, but just know that women do like to find these simps and, you know, give them a little bit of this and that every once in a while, just so they'll stay in line and keep paying the bills all the while they're getting, you know, railed by a couple different dudes every week.
Women cheat just as much as men. They're just better at it. And if anything, they do a lot more micro cheating. What I mean by this is one of the things that women can do that men can't is on a daily basis, they can plant seeds for cheating without realizing. So if she just posts a beautiful picture, guys can comment and she can say, thank you, and that tiny thing is happening on a daily basis. Whereas for men, they can't shoot their shot with that many girls and get a reply every day. So we're living in a time where if you wanted to be a female cheat, it'd be the easiest time to be that way.
No, see, that's just completely false. They absolutely know what they're doing when they do stuff like that. And then there's the woman coming and saying that, oh, well, women can't be held accountable for what they post online. Yeah, they know when they post them titty pics that those guys are going to be in their DMs. That's why they do it. That's why they do it. And if the right guy comes in her DMs, if there's the 6'5" dude that drives a Bugatti, and if he slides up in her DMs, then he's going to be sliding up into her organs later on that evening. That's just how this all works. That's the game. That's the game. That's why I always say check her Instagrams, check her Facebook, see what kind of pictures she's posting, see how she's interacting with these simps that are trying to get her attention. And if you see anything that is, well, something that you don't agree with, then just don't even bother with it. Just leave her alone. She's not going to change. You can't change these women.
Average women now view themselves as 10 out of 10. They have a diluted perception because they get so much attention online. They have so many people sliding into their DMs. They're being told, oh, believe you're a 10. Believe even if you're like a 4, honestly, sometimes from what I see. They're diluted, right? So those average women are not looking for average men. Those average women are thinking in their mind they're not average, and now they're looking for way, way, way above average men. They get away with that. A 4 can become a 7. 3 can become a 5. It happens, right? Think about it. Lashes, makeup, under eye concealer. Forget about the Botox and the filler that's been injected, but the hair extensions, the whole thing becomes like, who is this person? Guys can't do all that. You know, what does a guy do to get ready most of the time? They get a good haircut. If they have hair, they cut it. They put on a nice outfit. They take a shower and they go.
As long as there's social media, as long as there's online dating, as long as there is online interactions between women and men, and women are allowed to put out the kind of content they've been putting out, and all you have to do is look at any social media platform to see this, it's not going to stop. If you have a girlfriend and she's putting, you know, she's going to the gym and she starts putting out videos and stuff of her in the gym, you need to be aware of that, because that is definitely a red flag. If she is posting other types of pictures, pretty much any picture that where she is subtly trying to show off parts of her body, a lot of times it's just cleavage, sometimes it's like the picture where she's like flexing her butt and turning around or whatever they're doing. All of this is basically throwing bait out to these simps to try to cheat. Okay, they're trying to hook these higher level dudes while they're in a relationship, and they're trying to level themselves up through dating, which is something that, well, women are known to do since forever, but now so with online it is just it has gotten to levels that have been that we've never seen before. And then a lot of women are looking around and they're wondering like, oh, well, why are these men not wanting to date us? Well, you've shown a large majority of the population of men that you don't want to be around them. You don't want to even look at them. And now, since you're in your late 30s and you ran through, now it's time to settle down with the church simp? No, I don't think so. good luck finding that. Good luck finding that. It's happening. It's happening. These church simps are wifing up these only simp models, and they are thinking they hit the jackpot, not knowing that they are in for a rude awakening later on down the line. It is basically just a timer waiting to go off, waiting for something bad to happen whenever you invite women like this into your life. But that is going to be the end of today's video. Let me know what you guys think. Leave me a comment. What do you think is going to happen to the future of dating? I think that eventually it's going to have to change. If you've seen the online dating models, you'll see that applications themselves are pushing it to be to the point to where it's monetized so much that you really can't do anything on it without paying a hefty price to do it anyway. So I think that eventually they're just going to kind of push themselves out of the market. A lot of people aren't going to join a dating app to pay to date, and the small part of the population that are willing to pay for these dating apps, it's not going to be enough to give these dating apps a profit. Also, I think with the state of social media and everything that's going on, yeah, I don't see anything changing anytime soon. Rat Boy out.